Hello there YouTube, I'm Wheelchair21, and on today's rolling review we will be looking at Saban's Power Rangers Dino Supercharge action figures. In this line we'll be specifically looking at the Base 5 Dino Steel Rangers, as well as the Aqua, the Gray/Graphite, Gold, Purple Ranger, and the Supercharge Tyranno Red Ranger figures. All of these can be either purchased, mostly through the Supercharge Wave. The only exceptions would have been your Gold and Graphite thus far. We'll also be looking at a comparison between the figures with their original base form. Once opening all the figures that I'm going to be reviewing in this video, I thought best to start with Gold, Graphite, Aqua, and Purple. Only because, well, they're not the base 5 Rangers, and they're not repaints, or I should not say repaints, but, slightly remolded figures thus far. They're brand new figures using the same sculpts that the entire line uses, but they're entirely different characters altogether, so it's the best way to start. So, let's go to Gold, which is Ivan. He is the Terra Ranger, and honestly, the Gold suit looks amazing in this nice plastic. I think it's one of the best Gold suits we've gotten, and I honestly think that the only thing that compares to this are the previous releases of the Samurai Gold Ranger, and possibly a few of the legacy figures from the Megaforce line. Now this could be purchased whether it been the regular Dino Charge line or the Supercharge line, and I honestly do think that they did go all out on this figure due to the fact that the morpher isn't just molded on, it's a nice little plastic clip piece. It does break and crack over time, possibly, due to how it has a pressure lock seal over the forearm. The actual back parts here, these Terra wings that actually are CGI effects in the show, are rubbery plastic, but they can break at the seam of the actual shoulder guards. Honestly, the only details it could really be missing are the simple ones that all figures miss, which are the Dino comms on their belts, as well as specific details in their plastic weapons and such, like the Sandar Thunder Sword, which honestly, it could really use a bit of blue. I would have preferred if it was cast in blue rather than all gray, to be honest. Next, I'm going to be looking at Graphite and Aqua. To me, these two are inseparable due to the source material, Kyoryuger, because, well, they were Spirit Rangers. This nice gold bronze-like paint on their chest was to identify the fact that they were actually dead. They were specialized ghosts that had stored away their remaining life force, or just their essence, into their dino gems, or should I say Judenchi, and bonded with their specific dinosaur, Ankylo and Pachysord. However, in America, this is the current reigning Prince of Zondar, Prince Philip, and this is actually Tyler's dad. Overall, I do like their suits. I specifically actually like their helmets. I like the fact that with Gray, he actually has the Pachysaurus, or Pachycephalosaur, actual has like a silver chromed out head to represent their headbutting ability, as well as Aqua has these nice cool Ankylo like ears and horns sticking out, as well as nice texture plates going throughout the helmet. I think these are probably some of the best designed helmets we've ever seen in Sentai to date, or specifically centered around dinosaurs, due to the fact they've extensively gone in there to detail the fact that they're supposed to look like the dinosaur they're connected to. Honestly, there's nothing too... I shouldn't say honestly, there's nothing too much. They don't really come with much, really. It's just the morpher and the swords, which are not pictured due to the fact that I'll be featuring it more prevalently with the Violet Ranger. The only thing I do hate, though, is that unlike the base 5, as well as Violet, they do not have actual specific weapons, so you won't see any Dino Steel versions of them unless there's American exclusive ones made for Dino Supercharge. Now with Purple, which is Kendall, yes, Miss Morgan, she is the second Purple Ranger. The male Purple Ranger is expected to be released later in the Supercharge line. However, we got this one, which is obviously an easy retool and redesign of the female mold that we see with the pink Tricera Ranger. She has no difference in the basic retail figures that we've seen thus far, or at least base Dino Charge Rangers. I actually thought they would be smart and repackage the Toys R Us second Dino Charge bundle gift set of the actual I don't know, I know it as Gallery Cannon, but the Dino Charge Morpher shotgun effect, where you combine the sword and the gun together. I would have thought they would reissue it, at least with Violet, since that is her signature weapon in the show, due to the fact that when using the source material Kyoryuger, that is the weapon of choice for the Violet Ranger. The Dino Steel figures are practically red, black, pink, blue, and green, featuring a new right arm that supports their Dino Steel Armor, which allows them to summon their signature weapon as well as combine them into their Dino Spiker finishing weapon. The only issue I have to say about this is I wish that freaking Bandai properly molded the pieces a little bit better, with the fact that the upper piece is just a gray dull plastic similar to the right shoulder the left shoulder piece, as well as the forearm has like this nice silver paint job, which you see on the cuffs of the gloves, cuffs of the boots, and I wish it actually matched a whole lot better. Another issue I have is I feel like they could have been easily pieces or accessories added to the original figures, having the gold be his morpher clip on. I believe the armor could have clipped on. Even the armor might supports that, but I think it's also due to the fact that it's a bigger figure and the pieces aren't that hard to lose, even though they're still considered a choking hazard. One can only hope that one day, if the Power Rangers Legacy line goes far enough or further enough than the few waves we have already announced, like MMPR and Ninja Storm, they will feature the Dino Charge Rangers, at least the base 5, with the ability to have their Dino Steel armaments, similar to how the SH Figuarts did at one time. Now, they just aren't bare naked. Like I say, they do come with their weapons. Starting off first is, well, the Triceradrill, which is Pink's signature weapon. Green's Raptor Claw, which is pretty freaking sweet nonetheless. I think it's great. It's an underhanded weapon. Really good. It goes with his sword style. Blue's Stego Shield, which is amazing. They made it actually quite a bit bigger than the actual screen representation if they would have made it for the figure, to be more accurate. The Para Chopper. Yes, it looks like a pick or slightly like an axe, but it's not. It's actually a gun, if you've seen the show already. And it's a double-barreled pistol. It makes no sense why it's called Chopper, because he uses it as an actual gun. Just ridiculous, honestly. The last piece is the Red's T-Rex Smasher. Honestly, all you gotta do is just clip them into their hands, and the only details they're missing are like signature pieces of either, say, yellow for the base 4, and some black and green on the actual Tyrannosaurus. So before we get into our final review, we're going to look at the Supercharged Tyranno Red Ranger, which is his battleizer, his powered-up form, his main, well, form in general for the Red Ranger. I mean, every Red Ranger usually has a battleizer in Power Rangers lore, so it would just be justice to use the Kyoryuger version of it, because it's actually badass. Yes, the source material version, called Kyoryuger Carnival, is amazing. The only problem is the action figure can't feature all of the abilities that it can. First off, though, from this new remold of the Red Ranger, he has a wonderful new set of forearms and gloves. I like the new cuffs designs. It's great. His pants feature this red, yellow, and white lightning-like effect, which is supposed to symbolize stuff you would see at an actual carnival. And the main chest has been heavily retooled to look like the Tyrannosaurus Megazord. It's wonderful. The only issue I have with it is the pupils are not painted in. That's my only biggest concern. As well as these plastic pieces, which are supposed to represent the mane, are nice and rubbery. And it also is featured and sported on the helmet thus far. The actual Mini Terra gun piece is really well ingrained and molded to actually look like the deluxe toy and its Sentai counterpart. The only issues are it is missing paint details, and you need to be a fine painter as well as have fine tip paint brushes to get in there real well. The only other issue is its combined form with the Dino Charge Morpher, which is used for like the final attacks, the finishing buster attacks, is an exclusive which can only be purchased in the actual gift set at Toys R Us. It is the third gift set in the overarching Dino Charge line, but the first of the Supercharged gift sets to be sold. But you can get them still at Toys R Us for like $50. Even if you already have the pre-existing figures, I don't recommend that you get the gift sets. Now, for these toys, my final evaluation is, Getting the Dino Charge figures, or getting figures in general of your favorite Power Ranger season or Sentai season, is a must-have for Ranger collectors. For me, since figure arts are not really being made for Sentai teams or for complete teams in general, it's always good to get the American counterpart, especially since usually Saban and Bandai don't seem to try to jip you. The only times they try to jip you is when they give you Megazord exclusive suits and forms, as well as when they try to do this by selling their weapons separately, as well as their additional forms. Honestly, I do think that they could have easily maybe retooled the figures to actually feature an additional arm and weapon pieces and charged maybe $2 more or $3 more, or maybe made them just a bit bigger to do so. But I don't think they wanted to take the time and the costs and procedures in general. That would have been just something I would have liked. I know it's not profitable, but it would have been good nonetheless, especially due to the fact that the Tyranno Supercharged Red Ranger uses special armor pieces to make him almost like the Megazord, having arms like the Tricera, the Stego, the Ankylo, the Paki, the Raptor, and Parasaur, to make him almost like he's a micro Megazord. So, overall, finally having all the figures, I'm pleased, but I'm a little disgruntled due to the fact of how much money that has to go into this. I mean, think about it. Each of these figures all cost about $10 roughly a piece. I luckily got at least 5 of these figures on a rollback for about $7.50. That's, about $10 sale, due to the fact that's $2 to $3 off their normal retail price. So, I kind of saved myself a big one right there. But I don't recommend everyone should do it, unless you're a huge completionist and really want these goddamn freaking weapons like I did. My only other issue is the fact that all the Power Ranger toys in the last, 4 to 5 years have an issue where they can't stand well, or their hands are just of that soft material, rubbery plastic, or eventually they wear out and can't really hold the weapons. Those are the only pros and cons to getting the figures. Other than that, you can find them at most retailers like Toys R Us, Walmart, Targets, Amazon, and other possible online stores. You can find this video here on my channel, herotaku.com, and Hero Club. You can follow me on Twitter and at Instagram. So if you like this video, I insist you do, and tell me what you like and don't like about the toys and the series thus far. I'll see you next time.